On 2 nights in August 2024, someone stood at the front door of my apartment in Brunswick and attempted to pick the lock while I slept inside. The lock held both times. I didn't know any of it had happened until I found the scratches. I noticed them on a Thursday morning, around the lock. Fine lines in the paint and metal that weren't there before. Not from a key, from something else. I almost convinced myself it was nothing. Wear and tear, light catching at a different angle. But I'd cleaned the door 3 weeks ago. I'd have noticed. The scratches were fresh. Multiple fine gouges in the metal around the keyhole. Not accidental, deliberate. I tested the lock from the inside. It worked. Nothing jammed or sticky. Whatever they'd tried, the lock had held. I called a locksmith named Dave from a company on Sydney Road. He was at my door within the hour. He looked at the keyhole for about 30 seconds and then looked at me. He said someone had attempted to pick the lock. He could tell from the pattern of the marks. Not amateur, someone who knew exactly what they were doing. More than one attempt. He said the marks were from within the last week. Dave took me through the damage under a torch. The scratches inside the keyhole, the micro abrasions on the pins. I had slept in this apartment in Brunswick while someone worked on the lock outside my door. He replaced both deadbolts that afternoon, upgraded the cylinder to a grade 1 high security rating, said the new one would take significantly longer to pick if someone tried again. If someone tried again. I repeated those words in my head for the rest of the day. I filed a report at Brunswick Police Station that evening. They photographed the old cylinder. A neighbor at number 8 had a CCTV camera on the street. The footage showed a figure at my door on Thursday the 8th and Monday the 12th. Never facing the camera. 2 nights. They came twice to my door in Brunswick, and the lock held twice. Forensics confirmed the pick attempt. Added it to an open file linked to a series of attempted entries across Brunswick and Fitzroy in August 2024. There had been 3 other attempts within 800 meters that same month. None had succeeded. Nobody had reported them because the locks held and the doors looked fine in the morning. The new grade 1 lock is harder to defeat. Dave said it wouldn't stop a truly determined professional, but it would stop whoever had been at my door. I hear sounds at night that I didn't notice before. The building settling, wind in the frame, something that might be nothing. I get up and check the lock. Every time. The lock has never been compromised since. I know this. I also know I didn't know it was being compromised before. I installed a camera outside the front door. Motion triggered. It sends an alert to my phone. I look at every notification immediately. I will until I don't. I think about the 2 nights they stood at my door in the dark, working the lock while I slept. What they were planning, what they would have done if it had opened. The lock held. I don't take that for granted.